So the day after the Centurion debacle that we have witnessed in the test match, lots to question for India. I mean, a two-test series, you had to ensure that you did not lose the first test, and now you lost it, and that too by a comprehensive margin of an innings. An innings defeat for the first time after 13 years in South Africa has ensured that South Africa remains the final frontier for India. Their wait for a test series win now has continued, and it will continue for the next 2 to 4 years, depending on when South Africa next plays a test match. When India plays a test match in South Africa next. But now, Rohit Sharma attended the post match press conference and he had lots to say about the one major question that was there. Why did India not play a practice game prior to the test match? Sure, from 21st to 26th, you could have, in between, in an ideal world, you could have had a 2-day practice game. You didn't play anything in 2017 or 18, you didn't play anything in 2021-22. Now, without playing a practice game, the red ball team just assembled and they just did not turn up and they just capitulated very meekly in Centurion. Rohit Sharma had this to say on not playing a practice match just before the start of the test series. He stated, in the past 3 to 4 years, whenever we have been going for tours, whenever there is a practice match on offer, we don't get the right test match kind of conditions. The bowlers that are on offer also are bowling only in the range of 115, 125 kmph. No one goes express pace. That is the reason why India and the team management decided that we will prepare amongst ourselves. We'll prepare the kind of pitch that might assist us, and that is why we played an intra-squad game. Now, the intra-squad game, remember, has gained prominence ever since 2021, when India, because of the COVID rules that were there, they could arrive in England only much later, and they had to play an intra-squad game. New Zealand, on the other hand, because they didn't have that many of COVID cases, they came much earlier, played 2 tests, and they won the World Test Championship final. Now, you've seen in the past, in Australia, in South Africa, and all those other places, you don't get the right opponents, you don't get the right conditions. Pakistan themselves are feeling the heat at this point in time, because even when they played the Prime Minister's 11, the pitch, the players, they just weren't up to the mark in that sense. Pakistan weren't tested that well, and that's why they lost the first test by 360 runs. What is the value of a warm-up game? That is the thing that Rohit Sharma has highlighted. Bowlers who are bowling at 125, 130 in pitches that would have not been up to the test match simulation that would have been. Why then risk our players? We would just decide to play an intra-squad game. But the flip side of this is, the unfortunate part is, India did not adjust to the conditions one bit. Where was the adjustment done by the batters? Where was the adjustment in the line and the lengths done by the bowlers? In the post-match presentation, Rohit Sharma stated he made one very big blunder. He stated that most of our bowlers have not bowled in South Africa before. I mean, really, Shardul Thakur was one of the key wicket takers in 2021-22. You look at Jasprit Bumrah, he's bowled quite often in the past from 2017 onwards. So has Mohammad Siraj. So has Ravichandran Ashwin. The only guy who did not bowl in this entire period in South Africa is Prasidh Krishna. And Prasidh Krishna played in the LC de Villiers Oval clash where he took 5 wickets and also got a hat-trick. But remember, conditions at the LC de Villiers Oval and the one in Centurion are totally different in that sense. So, lots to ponder about for Rohit Sharma as to why the team management did not have better planning. Remember, the T20Is were drawn 1-1. The ODIs were 1-2-1. But remember, ODI and T20I conditions in South Africa are totally different than the test matches. The South African pacers opted out of the white ball series because they wanted to focus on the tests. And that's why Kagiso Rabada, if you look at it, even Marco Jansen to a certain extent, and Nandre Berger at least had a bit of exposure in the white ball series. They really bowled well. Again, the 4 factors that hurt India in this test match: a debutant, left-hander, first test of a Sena country, and also the fact that adjustment and reliance on only 2 or 3 individuals, that hurt India in a big way. And because of this now, Rohit Sharma's statement like, okay, we will not want to play practice matches because we are not going to get the right test match simulations, and the bowlers are also not up to high quality. Well, if that is the case, then we'll continue to struggle in that sense, because no nation ever wants to replicate a test match kind of a situation. I mean, they recently played in England against Leicestershire. What happened? No one, it was not even a high quality match if you have to look at it. I mean, there were so many substitutions. It was just being played for the sake of being played. And that's why Rohit Sharma may be right in some instances, but he's wrong also in some instances, because you have to adjust. The adjustment factor is there in South Africa. You have to do that. You've never won a series. If you think it was the final frontier, there should have been better planning to it. But Virat Kohli came on the 15th, had just a couple of practice sessions. Rohit also came, had a couple of knockouts. And then he said, okay, we are ready for the test match. Muscle memory, let it kick in. So that's why the Indian cricket team at this point in time, they have ended 2023, which is arguably their worst year. Worst year in cricket as far as it's concerned, because they did not win the World Test Championship. They were hammered in the World Test Championship final. They didn't win the ODI World Cup, where they were hammered yet again. And they have been hammered in Centurion. And the script is pretty similar. A left-hander, somewhere in the top and the middle order, hurting you big way. Where have we heard that before? Travis Head and Dean Elgar will really testify to that. Head opening the batting in the World Cup, blasted 137. Elgar opening in the test match in his farewell series, blasted 185 of the finest runs that you can get. And that's why India in the second innings lost to Dean Elgar alone by 54 runs. And if you match up Shubman Gill and the rest of the batters' contributions, they are not even half of Marco Jansen. That is how appalling India have been. Clueless, harmless, and absolutely gutless. Those three factors mean that India will now have to wait for a couple of years more to win in South Africa. But on the other hand, at the Melbourne cricket ground, Pakistan are putting up a rather good fight in their chase of 300 plus against Australia. Remember, Alex Carey hit a 50 and ensured that Australia at least had a target to set in excess of 300. But the match is poised in Melbourne on a knife's edge, because 5 wickets are down. Mohammad Rizwan is batting quite well. And who knows, maybe if Australia do not get a breakthrough by the end of the day today, tomorrow Pakistan could actually end up eliminating 28 years of pain in Australia. It could happen. Melbourne could witness something quite historic tomorrow. But Australia, as we know, in these kind of conditions, they will raise their A game. And that's why the pair of Agha Salman and Mohammad Rizwan now hold the key in this case. Rizwan in particular, in the first innings, he was very attacking. Here, he will have to ensure that he carries on. Australia still hold a slight edge, but Pakistan are not out of it. And that is why this particular situation, it's a 50-50 match at the Melbourne cricket ground. The last game of the 2023 calendar is proving to be an absolute thriller here. Pakistan will want to bat well on day 5, but on day 4, already 5 wickets down. It was not an ideal situation. Stark, Hazelwood, Cummins all have their tails up. Nathan Lyons also bowling well. So it'll be a combined team effort if Australia manage to do it and win the series yet again. So Pakistan in an absolute dogfight in Melbourne against Australia. Let's see how it pans out. I'll be back by the end of the day to give you all the updates on what's happened on day 4 of the Boxing Day test. But it's a 50-50 contest at this point in time. Now, how will India bounce back? Because remember, there are 5 days to go. 5 days to go for the second test that will take place on 3rd to 7th in Cape Town. Cape Town is one place where India have never won a test match. 6 tests, 4 losses, 2 draws. That's the situation in Cape Town. So India will be hoping to bounce back. Rohit Sharma has given the assurance that yes, India will bounce back. But the fans are really not happy, because everybody is trending the meme, oh, please bring back Virat Kohli, the test captain. Virat Kohli as a test captain was indeed brilliant. Yes, he was. But we are not being fair to Rohit Sharma. Why? Virat at least had 6 years. In just 2 years, you're wanting to just dish out Rohit Sharma and say, no, he's not good enough. Virat's time was done. He voluntarily gave up the captaincy because he didn't achieve the series win in South Africa. He voluntarily stepped away from T20I captaincy because it was taking a toll on his batting. The only place where you can say that the selectors were at fault was removing him from the ODI captaincy. That is the problem. One format, if you look at it, 3 captains in all 3 formats, that is something India and MS Dhoni had said would never work. Now, after Virat Kohli's exit, you've got 3 captains. In South Africa recently, you had KL Rahul as ODI captain, Suryakumar Yadav in T20Is, and you got Rohit Sharma in the test matches. Beat that. Now, if you have to look at the world of other sports, Koneru Humpy, I mean, what a brilliant, brilliant performance, only to come up short in the crucial stages. She could have easily won the rapid title, but unfortunately, in the rapid and blitz tiebreaker, the sudden death tiebreaker, she lost, and that is why she has to settle for silver in the World Rapid and Blitz Championships. The rapid sections ended yesterday, and Magnus Carlsen was crowned the king yet again for the fifth time. This guy is an alpha male when it comes to chess. If you have to look at Bradman in cricket, Carlsen in chess is redefining dominance unlike any. And to think he's not going to be part of the World Championships. All the opponents who are going to play there, they will be really, really thankful to God that Magnus Carlsen isn't playing. So Carlsen, World Rapid Champion yet again. There is good news though. Vidit Gujarati finished fourth, a very, very credible fourth, but he could have finished second had he not lost to Vladimir Fedosiev in that match. He lost and unfortunately he slipped down. Pragnananda was in the middle of the pack, and that's why he ended with a very solid note in the World Rapid Championships. But as far as the main person's concerned, Gukesh. Now remember, Anish Giri didn't finish in the podium in the rapid tournaments. If he manages to finish in the Blitz tournament in the podium, then Gukesh will be seriously sweating over his candidate's future. But because he didn't finish in the rapid in the tiebreakers, because he didn't finish in the podium, Gukesh has a good chance now. The Blitz carries a rather, you may say, a low to a tournament average rating. And that's why Gukesh is all but certain to seal his spot in the candidates. Because from the FIDE circuit, he will come through. And that's why today and tomorrow is the Blitz Championships. After the end of that, maybe Gukesh would have sealed his spot in the candidates. And that's a very, very good sign indeed. Thank you so much, folks, for joining us for this morning wrap. We'll be back with more updates on Sports Today. Tap that bell icon so you know when we go live. And don't forget, we are on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram as well. Bye-bye.